Welcome. Thanks for watching Storytelling with Data. What is our story? Here's our use case. This is a tiny data set and it's perfect for practice. It's coming from the Practice Analysis of Chiropractic 2025 that's put out by the National Board of Chiropractic Examiners. And this specific use case is US accredited chiropractic schools. We need data, but let's not overcomplicate it. Let's go to an authoritative source. I went to the NCBE, National Chiropractic Board of Examiners, and their latest report, shown here. This is graduate programs in chiropractic already accredited in North America. But first we need to ask ourselves, what will be the story we're going to be telling about these data? Is it going to be a story about North America? Because then for sure we need to include the Canadian school. Will it be a story just about the continental US, and therefore are we going to be dropping the school in Puerto Rico? Or will it be a story about the two schools that have two different campuses? Or will it be something else? We got to get clear on what is the story we're telling ourselves. Then we need to move to data cleaning. It sounds like not much fun, but up to 80% of my time and other people who are data scientists or data coaches, this is the work. So we move from the gathered data on the far left to the aggregated data that goes into the map. That's what gets ingested. But we have to go through what's called 1NF, or not first normal form, or atomic, or long form data. And how do we do that? We go from non-atomic by exploding or unnesting the data. And then we get to this beautiful long format, rich record level data, and then we aggregate. If we only have aggregated data on the far left, we cannot go back to more granular data. So now we do have location data, and it's calling for a story, but more specifically, it's calling for the question. And we have options. One option would be a choropleth map. Here is a choropleth map. We have aggregated these data by state into a binary measurement system, 1 or 0, yes or no. The green color expresses the presence of a chiropractic school, whereas the gray is the absence. What I've also decided in this story is that I want to be inclusive. I'm telling the story about the US, not Canada. I'm telling the story about the US, not just the continental. I'm telling the story about the non-contiguous states and territories, hence giving appropriate recognition to Puerto Rico. We could tell a different story if the question calls for it. With a different question, we could do a dot map. So, for example, where are accredited chiropractic schools located as of May 2026? Now, did I not say that the data came from March 2025? Well, I went to the source and I asked, is there any status update on this data? And it's not. So therefore, I can now say with confidence, May 2026. So here we see a distribution of the schools. And this is useful because now we can really tell that all the schools except from 3 are on the east of the central line, and 1 is in the non-contiguous states. It gets much more precise. Or we can tell a story, depending on what the question is, that combines or layers the different maps, both the choropleth as well as a dot map. And we can go one detail more specific without overwhelming the senses. We can develop a map like this. This would be useful to students who are considering entering into chiropractic school and they're saying, where should I go? This map shows us that we have most of the schools on the far right or east of the central line, where it tells us exactly the school locations in the blue dots. It tells us the names of the schools, and it differentiates between the schools that are currently accredited from the list and those that are coming soon. For example, University of Pittsburgh still getting accreditation, not yet, as well as Troy University, still in formation. So location data are everywhere. Most people bury it in spreadsheets or make maps that aren't really telling the story that goes with the need. So now you know 3 different ways and a framework. So if this was useful, share it with somebody who's still using lists or not making maps as effective as they can be. Subscribe for more and drop a comment. What would you like to map?